Bada bing, bada boom. We've done it again. Technology has aligned for us to be right here in this moment on the internet. Can you believe it?
And if you're here with us, then
Crazy.
buddy, jackpot for you.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane technology nowadays. And we're all here just to talk about some Coen Brothers movies. And what? Interview with the Vampire too? A little bit of chat on that.
Yes, we shall be as immortal as them.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like it's always kind of a bad week when your movie chest pick is better than both of your director's bad movies.
Wow.
I was just gonna say that I enjoyed Interview with a Vampire, I think, the best out of these three movies.
Yeah, I definitely did too.
Really? Wow, okay. Well, I don't know. I didn't really feel the same, but that's interesting.
I mean, I didn't think it was like an amazing movie, but I definitely thought it was better than the Coen Brothers movies.
Yeah, we're
You
definitely
didn't like
in,
the documentary about Tom Cruise?
Yeah, as he's revealing all of his secrets. This and Eyes Wide
Holy
Shut.
shit! Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Of just the seed.
Tom Cruise is a vampire.
Tom Cruise
in real life.
bites you.
Yeah.
Can you suck his blood?
I mean, you want to talk about Interview with the Vampire first? Then is that just
might as well just lead off with it. Yeah.
I made one note on this movie, and it is Tom Cruise drains a rat in this movie.
Hell yeah, he does.
That's the only thing I felt like writing down in that movie. I don't know.
Wait, I mean, why did you write down Tom Cruise? I mean, Brad Pitt is the one eating all the fucking rats.
The thing that captured my attention the most is when Tom Cruise was like, and he's like squeezing the rat into a little fucking
You're telling me you didn't find it kind of badass the fact that he came back from the bottom of a swamp drinking alligator and other rodents all the way home just to be like, bitch.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Yeah, I was kind of confused though, because like the first time he comes back, after they throw him in the swamp and think that he's dead, then they light his ass on fire and then they assume he's dead, but he's not. And they find that out after Brad Pitt has like murdered all of the vampires in Europe. But how he murders all the vampires in Europe, except for the one guy he slices in half, he lights them on fire. So if Tom Cruise survived the fire, wouldn't all those other vampires survive the fire too?
The difference between Tom Cruise's vampire and them is he's powered by Scientology. So
okay.
He just ascends to another plane until he reaches the top tier and becomes a god. So keep that in mind.
Soul. I think that's what Scientology is or some shit. But
something like that.
Probably, I don't know.
Astral project.
Yeah. So then also, I didn't know that like, I don't know, I had never seen this before. I'm assuming that What We Do in the Shadows, like the original movie and probably the show, is like a spoof of this. I never really made that connection before, mainly because I had never seen this before. But like,
it definitely has a lot of
influences. Yeah, like I mean, the fucking pit thing, like that with the sun. I mean, that's straight. That is in What We Do in the Shadows. You know, so I mean, I don't know.
The 1700s, 1800s of it all too. Definitely like out of time vampires. That's for sure.
Yeah,
the gist of both of those.
Man, just two pretty boys. Emo as fuck vampires. Like this is like the original Twilight, I feel like.
Except for a little more entertaining, less bleak, less like
more for dudes, I guess too.
True.
Definitely.
True.
Dude, also I didn't know that Antonio Banderas was in this. I thought it was just Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. And then I saw him as like the third name listed in the opening credits. And then it's like an hour and a half in, and I'm like, where the fuck is Antonio Banderas?
Takes a while. Yeah. He's a pretty good character, though.
Yeah. I thought he did a good job. Yeah. With his role. I don't know. Yeah, kind of interesting. Like, he's supposed to be the oldest vampire, and they had, like, no idea about vampire history. Yeah. That was like
that bothered me. I was like really hoping they'd
that kind of bothered me too.
Yeah, they play pretty fast and loose with like the vampire rules. Like they just kind of
I think so too. Yeah,
want to work or not.
Like, what's like the vampire lore?
Oh, that's a silly fucking jest. That's what are you talking about? Oh, but the coffins. Oh, those are we got to see the coffins.
Yeah, right. Like
what the fuck? Yeah, he throws the candlestick at the mirror and you see his reflection. I'm like, wait. Hold up. Or isn't that a thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I thought the same thing.
No
I was
garlic,
also
right?
wondering how they were getting into everybody's houses without being invited in, unless they were invited in off
That's a
screen.
good
But
point. Yeah.
True.
yeah,
Yeah. But I
I
mean, like
did.
the sunlight, I guess, is the only major rule. Then.
Seems that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did find this fun fact here. Due to not getting along during filming, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt refused to work with each other ever again, except for, of course, if he accepts the role in Tarantino's new movie. So
Yeah.
Wow, it's gonna be a long
one man
Interesting.
can bring them back together.
30
One man
year
can do that.
fucking.
You know, I wouldn't have. I don't know. That kind of makes sense in my head for some reason that like they wouldn't like each other. But I don't really. I don't know. I don't really know
Well,
a lot about them as people. So like,
When I was reading it, the only complaint that I could find that Tom Cruise had was that Brad Pitt didn't wear deodorant, and he was like, it stunk. So,
wow.
like,
That can't be it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it was kind of a weird experience to see Tom Cruise listed like built second in a movie. So maybe I just think like him and Brad Pitt, I feel like they're at
Big
like
egos.
they're
big
about to pop off in their careers right here, and
That's what I was
maybe
kind of
just
thinking
too
too.
bumping. Yeah.
What did this come out in 1994? Was it? Or I mean, I know it was the early 90s, but like
94.
So
baby.
like, I mean, they had like some roles before this. I mean, I don't know.
They did for sure. I mean, they were known. They were definitely well known.
Yeah.
But it's like
I think at this time though, after what 7 and
that's like all I
don't
can
know,
think of
Fight
too.
Club. I mean, Brad Pitt was
I
kind
think
of
Fight
a
Club
bigger
was like later in the
star.
earlier
90s.
shit, like Legends of the Fall or some shit like that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Cruise was
I
in
think
like
in
Risky
this
Business
moment,
and stuff like that. And,
Yeah. That's
right.
true.
I just think Brad Pitt was probably just bigger right at this moment because Tom Cruise hadn't hit that action hero stride yet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the first Mission Impossible movie hadn't came out yet, right?
I don't think so. No.
Nope.
Yeah.
96, I believe, was the first one. Yeah, not yet. No, but I don't know. I mean, I guess like my main gripes with it are just like you've probably seen like all this before nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of the best
now.
vampire things I've seen.
I did. I wrote down like at this time. I don't know how much vampire lore had been explored in like just literature or like actual like media, like shows and TV.
Dracula movies and shit first.
Yeah, but like I guess the concept of like turning a kid into a vampire and them not aging forever, I feel like that is probably a new concept for for media, you know.
That was novel. Yeah. I mean, they play that out to its most fullest dramatic conclusion.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst was doing pretty good. I mean, as a child actress.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Killed it.
I was thinking like other shit that she had been in around this time too, and I think like Jumanji came out early 90s. I don't know if that was before or after this.
I think this is one of her first roles, honestly.
Yeah, I think that was after
this or Jumanji.
I think Jumanji. I think is a little bit after.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Pretty close.
Damn, I thought Jumanji
got something.
Let me see.
Definitely.
Also, like my bigger gripes on the movie.
1995, the year after.
She's a star after this movie. She like deserved like a award, like a nomination almost for her performance in the movie.
I felt like that scene where her and Brad are like kind of like fighting, yelling at each other. Her energy like carried that scene. I feel like she was like leading that scene.
Yeah.
Well, that into when she kills Tom Cruise or attempts to, I thought that was fucking wild. I'm like, wow,
yeah, I thought so too.
She's killing it.
Yeah, the dead man's blood thing, like again with the vampire lore, is that like a thing? Like I
didn't really know that one.
I haven't really like seen or heard about that one before.
But it's important. This one.
Yeah, to the plot, but like you just make up some fucking vampire lore for your plot, like whatever.
Is that why he's like scraggly for the next like 300 years or what? Because like, is it just like he was burnt, or like why is he like still like a weirdo?
I don't know. I was wondering that too.
I think he just wasn't getting the proper feeding because I mean, after he got a new host, Christian Slater, I mean, I think he kind of just rejuvenated himself, gave himself purpose.
It took him 300 years to do that. What?
To find a proper suitor, I think, the
one that he like just creeped. What I got from that, he's still creeping on Brad Pitt, and he found Christian Slater outside, and he was like, "I'm gonna eat that guy now." I don't even
I think he was
know
tired of Brad Pitt. It wasn't too compatible,
Then why is he creeping on Christian Slater?
Because Brad Pitt wanted
ass.
So it's just a coincidence that he was just giving his life story to Brad Pitt?
Well, I thought Brad Pitt talked to Tom Cruise and then went to Christian Slater. So then that's why Cruise showed up.
Yeah.
Following, like you said, Pitt. But then he's like, this Slater guy is kind of nice.
Gotcha.
So,
I didn't make that connection.
I missed that, I guess.
That's kind of what my thinking was too. Actually, I was like, oh, is he just going to use Brad Pitt to find the right people now? Yeah.
That was my timeline of
You guys
him
fucking
going
missed
to
that?
Cruise in the house, and then he went to Cruise, and then he was like, all right, fuck it. And then he wanted to go spill his guts.
But when he went to Cruise, that was still like 1800s or some shit.
That's what I thought
it was modern time because the helicopter came through the window.
Yeah. But then again, there's like a very large passage of time that just gets like skipped over, regardless.
It's true.
Was most of Brad Pitt's time spent in Europe or spent in America? Like,
I think he said that he was after he got tired of Europe, he came back to America.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just
like wondering a lot of time there.
When that point. Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
So he didn't come back until it was like modern times. Like
then he came back modern time and
it's like present day basically when he came.
That's how I understood it, yeah.
Gotcha. I guess when they're in the weird old cabin, I feel like it was like old Brad Pitt looking motherfucker still. And then Christian Slater, it's like he's like this suit wearing guy. Maybe
old
he was
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
he doesn't age, motherfucker.
Well, I'm talking. He's wearing his little 1800s gown still, or whatever the fuck they're, like they're frolicky shirts.
Maybe they do it different over there in the EU. Yeah.
But that's America, though. Then, right? Like,
they're posh.
I don't know. My main gripe of the movie is like I think it's based on books, and you can tell because by the end of this movie, you don't even know what the fuck is like the point. In my opinion, like where it's going, or like
I definitely did not.
And it's like it spends like way too much time hundreds of years ago when it's like clearly setting up the Christian Slater present day angle.
Yeah,
I was ready for more of like the lead up to the time, and it's just like
it would have been
the fact that it was just like literally an interview going on was kind of like not relevant to the story, like actually happening. Yeah,
once you like figure out that you're waiting
until the very end, apparently with Tom Cruise, coming in, but I don't know. I didn't even catch that. So
why did
2 of our 4 didn't even catch that? So
he's just like, tell everyone now about what I've done, and then he literally just dips out. Like, what's the point of it?
Make this movie.
I can Google it right now if you want.
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's like it was a well-made movie. Like the craft of it was definitely there.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird and didn't like make any like a lot of the like story beats towards the end. I was just questioning. It's like, what is this about?
No, I could definitely. I can understand that. I guess I really just liked hanging out with the cast the most. I think.
Yeah,
like you fucking depressed Brad Pitt for 2 hours, just being sad about living.
Not so much Brad Pitt, but like
I feel like
Tom Cruise was really eating up the
Tom
scenes.
Cruise was having a good time for sure.
Yeah,
true.
He was like a darker character than most of his stuff.
Yeah, like when he was undead and he was playing the piano, that whole scene was just dope. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
and then even the end scene with Kim and Christian Slater, I really enjoyed that. So there was moments where I was just kind of like.
It was
nice.
Like the wittiness of that last lines were like, I've been listening to that guy for
right.
That was fun. But then I was like, is this the same movie that I just like watched? Like
that's what I couldn't understand. Is this camp? Is this horror? Is this a comedy?
Straight up drama?
Is this a romance? What is going on? Yeah,
I mean,
it's outside the preconceived notions of what genre is.
I can't pin it down. You just can't pin it down.
Don't put it in a box.
I mean, to me, I was like in some like obviously like some homoerotic undertones of this movie with the leads and Antonio.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's like they're like
Antonio Banderas.
It's almost like they're a gay couple like raising a kid after their past relationships or whatever. That's the point of the movie, I guess. In the end, is like weird outsiders forming a weird relationship.
Yeah.
Is he about to make like an epic reveal? That's what I'm waiting
for. Full-size Tom Cruise cut out.
Yeah.
As a vampire?
As a vampire, yeah.
Yeah. Also, though, I don't know if I should wait for Alex to get back, but major Benjamin Button energy in this movie too, like towards the end too.
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt like narrating the times changing and stuff like that.
Yeah. The New World and.
Damn, when did Benjamin Button come out?
It's 08, I believe. Wait,
okay.
09, 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it feels like Brad Pitt might have been like throwing back to this movie when he did that role, you know? Just because he's done something similar now that we've watched this one.
I was getting like Steel Magnolia vibes from him in this one a little bit. Just because of how outrageous he was, and how like.
You talking Magnolia?
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I feel like it's kind of crazy, but like we've had, well, never mind. Maybe. I guess this wasn't a director's dive, but I just like, we've watched a lot of Brad Pitt in the time that I've been on this podcast.
I wonder why that is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he was in Tarantino shit
right now. It's like,
and he was in David Fincher shit. And I mean, am I missing something about the Coen brothers?
He's in some Brad Pitt stuff. Not yet though.
Gotcha.
Burn After Reading. Yeah.
Is that only one?
I'm excited for that one, especially after watching these Coen ones, like, and seeing Clooney. I don't know. I'm like becoming a bigger and bigger fan of Clooney.
Oh, we'll get into Clooney.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some stuff to say about Clooney.
Wow. Okay.
Not really.
Did you guys know that this movie is called Interview with the Vampire: The Vampire Chronicles?
Yeah, I saw that. Like, I didn't know until it showed up, like, on the opening credits.
Yeah, I had never known like that was I always thought it was just Interview with the Vampire.
Long fucking title, yeah. I wonder what the next chronicle is.
Christian Slater.
Maybe it's Tom Cruise's story.
Yeah, what he was doing for 100 years, just sitting in the fucking rocking chair.
Or like how he got his powers.
It's like
how he got turned into a vampire.
Like the original. I'd love to see more of that. Or
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. I would take more Armand. I'm thinking Christian Slater's story. Vampires in the future, man. Yeah. Vampires in like
Underworld shit.
2200. Is that what Underworld is? Yeah.
I think there's a futuristic Underworld. I don't know.
This is a lead into Blade.
Oh yeah, shit, dude.
Same universe. Just fucking Brad Pitt getting his head chopped off by Blade in the sequel.
Probably Tom Cruise, dude.
You can look closely. Wesley Snipes is actually in Interview with a Vampire. He's in Europe.
Peeping in the background.
Yeah.
All good over there?
Yeah. Kids, They
all good?
Yeah. Elliot's got like 6 molars coming in, so he's not enjoying sleeping.
I don't understand what pain is like.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, we were just
you're not enjoying sleeping either.
The only other comment that I made was major Benjamin Button energy in this movie. Towards the end, with like Brad Pitt narrating and the passage of time.
Just less wrinkly.
Less wrinkles. Yeah, a lot less wrinkles. True. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Pretty good movie. I might watch it again.
I also gave it 3.5. But I was thinking about possibly bringing it down to 3.
I'm at 4. I enjoyed myself. It was just kind of fun. I see why they put it on like TNT for like all those reruns I saw growing up of Interview with Vampire. I'm like, this movie's got to have something.
Yeah, that's true. This was the one I always like went past and never put on.
Same.
Gotta be something else. For sure, it's definitely got the performances. It's got the I don't know, story, the classic time story.
Yeah, it definitely feels that like classic vampire feel.
Yeah,
old timey vampire shit.
Yeah, I like how it was set in like New Orleans too. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Different. Yeah.
I don't know if you're thinking of like a vampire story of that time period. I feel like
London or France or
Well, I guess like if it was gonna be in America, I would assume they would pick like some New England region city, instead of there.
True.
So I
New
think that's
York
kind of
or
neat.
something. Yeah.
I actually recently found out that New Orleans is actually, I think, the oldest like city or colony in the United States because it was a French colony originally. So.
Interesting. Makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, Columbus landing in the Caribbean and then moving up.
Marshland civilization. Yeah. That's where we started, right? I've never been to New Orleans though.
We came out of swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess
crawled out of the swamp into the fucking U.S.
We evolved. Have we made it to vampire status yet? We'll see.
Yet.
Time will tell.
Tom Cruise has.
Age.
Oh, you guys haven't?
Yeah. We don't age like Tom.
Would you guys be eating rats if you were a vampire, or would you just be going full Tom Cruise and just going for it?
I think I'd have to just go for it. Yeah, I don't know if I can eat a rat.
I think it depends.
Like
I don't really know.
Vampire.
Like I don't think really I would know. Like I don't think I would know how I'd feel until it happens. You know, like.
Yeah.
I think I would like target people I felt like deserved it. Just like assholes or
people who are lingering outside of bars at night. That's the target, right? Weird ass dudes. But then you dudes probably don't taste as good though, right?
You just get drunk off of their blood alcohol level.
True.
You get a little
mixer.
Yeah.
Well, a Bloody Mary, perhaps.
Ooh. Vampires had to have tried that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, do we move into the Coens, the double feature this week?
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
What are we starting with? Intolerable Cruelty?
Yeah, we'll go down the line here. So this is probably, from looking from the outside, the biggest lull of the Coens' career.
Yeah, Coen Brothers rom-com.
Yeah, rom-com. Yeah. And then the one after, too, it's like...
Coen Brothers Goofy Heist.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I think they were just trying different shit at this point. Like, I don't know. Especially with we'll get into the next one, I guess, when we get there. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if we just want to go Intolerable
Starting off, I was like, I liked the opening scene. I feel like it was like, I don't know, Coen Brothers-esque type shit. I don't know, finding like the pool boy sleeping with your wife. Mm-hmm. But then, I don't know, going forward from there, I liked the like lawyery jokes about how lawyers have like no soul and shit, and how like the owner of the firm is like how he keeps like listing off the different things that he like charged, like all the fucking billable hours, like all the fucking lunches charged. I thought was fucking hilarious. Like that stuff was all like good for me, but I feel like there was like, I don't know, I feel like it almost like crossed the line a couple times. Like look, George Clooney is like, he's supposed to be like one of the best divorce court lawyers, probably the best divorce court lawyer in LA. And then he goes to this conference in Vegas and is giving this speech about how love matters and shit, because this woman like, and they all are like on his side by the end of the speech. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? I don't know. I just thought that was like so fucking
unbelievable.
Stupid. Like,
I thought it worked just for the zaniness of it all. Where like,
I had thought about that.
Like he's like literally like fist bumping by the end of the
like Coen Brothers just like trying to like make fun of like rom-coms by doing this, like, because it's so fucking stupid. But like, I don't know. I couldn't really tell, to be honest. So
I got you. I kind of bought in pretty early on it, honestly. I'm just gonna say I enjoyed this one a lot more, and I think it's a lot better than some of the other ones we've watched already. Like, it's gonna be higher in my rankings. It's on a pure entertainment level. It's just way more, and it's way more entertaining. It's way more fun. It's got great shit going on, and a lot of the moments. Some of the shit's not great, but it's like a good attempt. It's a different movie by them for sure.
The thing that stood out to me in this one was just like the dialogue, how witty it was for everybody, how smart it was. But I don't know. It was just kind of like, I think I was just going through the motions of it after. I was like, rom-com. I don't know. I didn't really feel like the Coens in this one as much.
Yeah, I didn't really
even
either.
in the way it was shot, it didn't really feel like the Coens brother.
This one does have multiple different writers, I will say.
Oh, okay.
And I looked up like some of the credits between the writers because there's 3 other people that are not the Coens that wrote it. Yeah. And one of them is like Big Trouble. These are all like kind of early 2000s movies that have like this zany. It's like I can see why they mixed it with the Coens, but I agree that you can feel like outside influence of that, maybe the genre more, but just also other people's voices in the room.
I think the biggest thing that was different was just that the idea of it was a genre, like it was a rom-com. So like, I don't know, that's just what stood out. Otherwise, I feel like in terms of rom-com, it was definitely an elevated rom-com. Like the dialogue was there. I mean, I thought it was pretty smart. And I mean, you know what's going to happen at the end of it, but like it was nice to see that Billy Bob was actually an actor in the original guy's
I thought that was pretty interesting, dude. And like how like his line of like she fucking gotcha or whatever, like how it lines up with them watching. Yeah, they nailed your ass. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, the beginning opening sequence dovetails to the end kind of nicely. You know, they make it work.
Yeah, but I actually really enjoyed this one. I mean, compared to one that follows, and a couple of the other Coen ones that we've watched, even Oh Brother, We're Out There, Where Art Thou, I enjoyed this one quite a bit more, just on a pure entertainment level. I thought the pacing was pretty good. I mean, it made me laugh. George Clooney is kind of awesome. Like he's really good in this.
Yeah,
I feel like it's Catherine Zeta-Jones, right? Is the other? Yeah, I feel like they both had pretty good chemistry throughout the whole movie too.
Yeah,
for sure. And it's like like an untraditional rom-com where it's like 2 people that are kind of like above the romance of it all and are just playing the game of it all, you know, and you kind of like watch that go. I think it kind of falls apart a bit in the second half. Once the time jump of 6 months happened, it becomes a little bit sloppy and a little bit like
definitely.
Yeah,
I think that's where I started to feel just like the lull. Like, my interest just went, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely ramps it to the end kind of nicely when the reveal happens, like when they see the Billy Bob on with Bruce Campbell, you know, like acting.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was this movie that he was in or the next one.
He's both.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they brought him back.
Yeah, it's neat.
But yeah, a lot of good moments. I thought the Cedric the Entertainer stuff actually worked pretty well in this movie, and I was kind of worried it wouldn't at first, but he kind of mixed in pretty easily with it. George Clooney's buddy was decent. You know, I don't even know who that guy is. I haven't really seen him, but he was pretty good. Just like a lot of like heightened comedy that even the reality shifts where it's like it's clearly not even real anymore. You know, like it's like Heinz von Baron von whatever the fuck his name is, and like that whole sequence when he comes in, it just like goes so high, and I don't know, I liked it. I respect a movie like that, a rom-com like that more, where it just like doesn't give a shit about like the reality of the world as much. But
yeah, I was listening to a podcast actually because Drive-Away Dolls came out, and that's what Ethan's solo movie.
Dude, I was actually just reading about that before we did this pod.
Yeah, and it seems like they balance each other out pretty well. Like Joel is kind of like the film student, like pretty particular, and then Ethan's kind of brings in that zany, silly shit. So
for sure.
So now when I'm watching these or looking back on them, I'm like, okay, so that's what Ethan contributed, or that's what Joel would contribute, and you can just tell kind of where they're get into the mix of things.
I was actually like trying to figure that out based on like who they list as the director and executive producer, but I don't know. I had never like actually done research on like who has more influence.
Apparently they both like switch off. Actually, the next movie, The Ladykillers, is where they finally like make the jump of they're both listed as director finally.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe they just it's like ceremonial after that, but
yeah. Dude, but I heard that it's called Drive-Away Girls.
Drive-Away Dolls.
Drive-Away Dolls. Yeah, dude, that fucking bombed. Like apparently it had a $2.5 million opening weekend.
Well, it got like
that's fucking
not canned, but like pushed to the side when the strike started, and I don't know.
gotcha.
It's got like no like I didn't even. The only reason I know about it because I'm in the depths, you know. So of course I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I didn't
don't
know
Yeah,
it came out
realistically, I only
until
saw
last
like
week.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't actually know it was out. I saw a trailer for it when I went to go see Poor Things a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it and I was like, damn. So I went to look up show times for it. And that same day, we saw another trailer for it. And Sarah was like, that looks like your kind of movie. I'm like, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was looking up show times for it. So, I mean, I feel like it's my kind of movie, or, you know, I just don't think it, from what I've heard, it just doesn't have the Coen brothers like touch. It's just kind of silly. But I don't know. I know
Yeah.
you watched it, Matt. What did you
I did
think?
watch it. Yeah. To me, it feels almost like he kind of like gave a lot of the power and authority in the tone and everything to his wife. Not in like a bad way, but like there's like Cohen energy, but it's not chiseled, and it's pretty like the editing choices to me are just like kind of strange, and it's I don't know. It's when you see like a low runtime, I still am getting fooled where it's like that's an 82-minute movie, and I was like ready to love it for like its short runtime, and it
Holy
feels
shit.
way too long. And
Wait,
it's like
82
not well.
minutes?
Yeah, it's like they didn't have
That's
enough.
insane.
And it's like that's shocking, honestly, when you get into the editing room and you think you have to like cut to that amount. But
this is also written and was like they started this project in the what was it the 90s when it like the original idea it was
takes
called
place
the
in
Driveway Dykes, but then they had to obviously change the title and
put that in there.
I don't know.
They do put that in there at the end, so it's like
yeah,
not that hard.
but I just wonder if it would be different, like if it was made back in the 90s, like if it would have fit nicely into the 90s corner of
Probably
just schlock.
I think it would have been better. I think because it take place in the '90s, and to be quite honest, I don't even know why. Like it just doesn't even feel like it's a thing. It feels out of time, but not in the right way. If that makes sense. But,
no, definitely.
It's fine. I was wanting more just because it was a Coen brothers. I compared it to Tragedy of Macbeth and find that these two need to get back together and start making movies together again. But I'll watch both their shit. It's just not to the standard that either of them could do now that you know it. You know.
Yeah. Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
But small tangent there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we were gonna maybe do those movies at the end. We don't have to anymore. We don't want to. But
no, we can.
That one, Tragedy of Macbeth. They're definitely not the same. They're like I don't know. They're like different attempts. Yeah. But as far as go ahead.
No, we'll finish this one up and then I'll talk about it.
I was saying, as far as Intolerable Cruelty goes, I just wanted to make a note that I don't know, I just wanted to write this down that anytime any type of media cuts to the stenographer and is like, "Where were we?" and they're like, they just like flatly state whatever was last said. Those for some reason those moments always work. I don't know what it is.
Definitely.
Like
this one worked especially because he like thought about it and she kept listing off like she kept saying the bone line and he was like thinking about it. He's like, okay, now I'm back in it. And so it really super worked in that scene.
It's that scene for sure, but it just made me think like of all the other scenes that I've seen that, and they always work. It's I don't know. It's just like something about going like outside the story for a second and then like engaging with it again.
Jumping back in. Yeah.
That and the like finale sequence, I guess you'd say, with like the inhaler and the gun being. I thought that works pretty well. I don't know. It's kind of stupid, but like the chaos of it all added up to me, and it like worked. So.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean,
for a second there, I thought like George Clooney was gonna get his head blown off. Like I couldn't tell like where we were going, so that's kind of what worked for me, you know?
Yeah. Fucking tragic for that one dude.
Wheezy, what's his name? Wheezy what?
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one 3.5 stars. You know, I think it's not bad.
I gave it 3.
I think 3 or 3.5. I can't remember.
Yeah, I went on 3.
Yeah.
I'd always heard like it was so weak and like not like with any other movies, which it's kind of not. But to its credit, in my opinion. But I guess I can see why people don't like it.
I think it's just the whole genre of it all. I think is what kind of turns some people off because you hear Coen's, you immediately you think Fargo, you think Big Lebowski, shit like that, where you can't put them in a box, man. But anyway.
Well, if we want to move on, I feel like the next one, the Ladykillers, you can undeniably feel the Coen patented energy in this film, at least, where they're like, let's go back to what we were doing. Because like the last three movies, they're kind of like homage or like trying to do something else a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
And this one, they're just like, let's just fucking do something fun,
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about the Ladykillers?
It's kind of a mess, to be honest.
I didn't like it.
It was fun in moments, but it was just like little pockets where you're kind of with it, but then it would just lose you.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like the beginning, it didn't really reel me in. But then when Tom Hanks showed up, I was kind of like, okay, this is an interesting character. Obviously, some shady stuff. And then the whole idea of they're a band and this heist thing, which is completely ludicrous. The fact I dug a hole in my backyard for a fire pit, and I dug the hole in a week's time, but like it was a pretty like it was 12 by 12 or whatever.
I think I wrote it down.
3 foot deep.
I'm so just like, I've seen Better Call Saul. I know what it takes to do underground excavations.
But you don't have Lump, dude. You don't have that guy.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have the muscle. Yeah. Right. But yeah, no, it was just kind of messy overall. But I mean, there was pockets of entertainment and joy, but overall, it just didn't work for me. I don't think.
Yeah, so I found out that I'm pretty sure this is based on a movie that came out in the 50s.
Yeah,
in 1955. And like I was trying to I was just wondering, for me, Tom Hanks did not work right in this role.
Dude. His character just annoyed me more and more.
Oh yeah, dude. And I don't know. I think personally, if you had somebody else in this role, like it probably would have worked better. And I was wondering if like it was the Coen brothers who picked Tom Hanks for this, or if Tom Hanks wanted this part specifically because he had seen this movie or something before. Because I don't know, I could see him just doing that.
It's funny.
But then I thought, oh, sorry, go on.
No, I prefer Tom Hanks in this role, like opposed to like Forrest Gump. Like I would watch this role, Tom Hanks in this type of role, rather than all the other shit he's played in. Because usually Tom Hanks just plays Tom Hanks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
he's a bit different in this one. You can see him trying something different in this one.
Right, which I appreciated. But
so then I was thinking, I mean, it's like the early 2000s. You've got, you just had 2 of your last 3 movies have George Clooney in it, and around the same time, like Ocean's 11 just came out. So it's like, I don't know if it would have been like pigeonholing George Clooney's career if you had him in a serious heist movie and then a goofy heist movie. But like realistically, I feel like he would have done a much better part, like much better version of that character. Like based on like what he's done in the last 2 movies he was in of the Coen brothers.
Maybe. I think he's too smooth though. Like what makes Tom Hanks kind of work in this one. And I agree because I did not like this movie. It was my least favorite Coen Brothers movie when I saw it for the first time. And this rewatch, it just I just felt the love for some reason. I don't know. It just like worked a little bit more for this time. But it was similar to The Killer. I just thought about how stupid these guys are. I just thought about how they're all supposed to be portrayed as idiots and not on top of their game. And Tom Hanks is a skeevy loser. And he's trying to like elevate or think he's elevated, but like
they're just classic grifters.
Yeah, he's just an idiot. Yeah. So like George Clooney, you definitely be there with him more because Tom Hanks kind of eases it out of this role strangely or whatever, but he might be too like smart or too on top of it, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I didn't really like think about that, but that makes sense now that you bring it up, like relating it to The Killer in the sense that like they're supposed to not like,
I mean, by the end of it, like they're all dead in like pretty dumb ways. Like,
I half expected the bodies just to like start getting found after they were just continuously
I thought so
barge.
too. How the fuck do they have so many barges going down? I mean, they waited for like 3 barges in one night.
I mean, that's the fun of it to me. Like, because I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, they just did the same bit again with the barges, the same body throughout the same. It was like too repetitive and too like in one note. But like the fact that like the barge has the second barge attached to it, like just so conveniently for it, like it's just there to like be funny and there to be silly. But and I also thought the first time I thought the deaths happened like very early on and kind of staggered through, but it really just is like the last 20 minutes that like
they all just start getting
shit just going wild.
I will say I love J.K. Simmons and
so good.
He was like one of those standouts that I was like
that's like the most unique character I think he's ever done, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So distinct, so weird.
Yeah, always talking about the mountain, his wife,
man,
and his IBS, and
I got
just such a weird
on my
group
safari jacket
too. Like I don't know, they're just like so diverse, like all of them. But yeah,
for sure.
I don't know. J.K. Simmons is, I feel like he's just always fucking good. I don't know.
I think he carries this movie a lot in a lot of ways, just with his energy, because Tom Hanks doesn't really do that. You know, he's kind of just
a lot of the fun pockets were with J.K. Simmons.
And
I think.
The whole dynamic.
Fucking Lump. I've only really known him from
the football one. Yeah, I can't think of the name either. Yeah,
he plays like
that's the only thing I've seen him in too. Yeah.
He looks familiar.
So he's like going full fucking just dumb in this one, which I mean it's fun to watch, but he's like almost not
for his character too.
That probably came out pretty close before this. Was it late 90s or early 2000s?
It's late 90s, yeah. I think the dialogue is actually like pretty solid in this movie. I was like trying to like listen to it more this time and like actually hear what Tom Hanks is fucking saying, because a lot of the times when I was checking out before, it was just when he was talking, you know, and it's just like he's just
posturing and
he's just saying Edgar Allan Poe poems and shit because he's just like posing, you know, like
dude.
But like I think it's pretty good because like he is just like stalling or whatever, like just cheesing half the time. I think the problem in the movie is like either like the audio recording or like the filmmaking is like not accentuating like it. It's like almost like standardly just like there. And like that didn't make me engage into Tom Hanks. Like I don't know if it was just like the audio or like the sound recording, but it was like I wasn't like there.
No, I get you, mean. I feel like I felt that when he was like doing the toast in the basement after they had done it, and I was like, why is this like I don't know. I feel like there's nothing. It doesn't
cinematically
feel
like drawing at me there.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know. So maybe that was the struggle. I was trying to maybe think about that this time for me, but like I don't know, because like the performance is pretty solid, the dialogue's pretty solid. It's just like not adding up to like the product being that solid in a weird way, you know, like
yeah,
the whole is not greater than its parts, kind of thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think like for me, I wasn't really that into it starting off. Like I literally wrote down like, what the fuck am I watching? But then like I feel like after they got the money, I just wanted it to be over, and there was still like probably a half hour left. I feel like at least
like 24 minutes or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and like then I feel like it was just them just doing random bullshit. They had to figure out who was gonna kill the old lady, who I also fucking hated the entire movie. Like she just bothered me. I don't know. Yeah. And maybe she just reminded me too much of my grandma. I don't really know. But
too real.
And then like I don't know. I feel like the last 24 minutes or whatever was just them just like scrambling. And yeah, like it was kind of funny when they were all like dying or whatever, but I feel like that was like the last like 5 minutes. Like then there's like 20 minutes of them just like scrambling, doing random shit that like I just don't really give a fuck about. Like I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. I mean, like Lump it's another like compared to Intolerable Cruelty, he just shoots himself in the head dumbly, you know.
Yeah.
And like after Blood's Simple, like a lot of revolver pointing and pulling the trigger in the Coens, you know. But and if there's a bullet in there or not, we don't know. That's like the Coens thing, you know. It's like, or do we know? But and then Tom Hanks just like, I guess like you cathartically like universally getting killed by whatever the fucking
the Raven, man.
Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know. I would just like see. I'm curious what you do if you watch it again in the future. Let me know because I had basically the same experience that you guys had. So
yeah,
I don't fault
I
it
guess
at
I'm
all.
just like trying to think, and like besides the Wayans dude like losing his job because he's like talking to customers. I don't know. I feel like
talking to customers
up until you know, talking to customers. Anyway, like I feel like up until the heist part, they didn't really show a lot of incompetence. I don't know. Except for like blowing off his finger, I guess. Like I guess there were like examples. I don't know. I feel like, but like there was also a lot that they did right. I mean, they made sure not to show themselves to anyone. I mean, they made sure to like find a hideout, which still was like dumb how they. I don't know.
Well, I guess like, can you attribute that to Tom Hanks's character being like semi smart enough to like be the leader of that?
It's possible,
like,
yeah. But even from that conversation in the Waffle Hut or whatever, which I also have problems with because I mean the Wayans dude just pulls out a fucking gun in the waffle place, and then they just continue to eat breakfast. Like what the fuck?
Tom Hanks like is talking him down about like I don't know like the language he uses, but it's about how the customers won't like it either. Like what's gonna happen?
But like I don't know. It seems like all of the characters, excluding Lump, like have some kind of like heist grifting experience. I don't know.
They're all petty criminals, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't really know how he found them all, do you?
I thought he said they responded to an ad or something.
Really?
Okay.
I thought it was like a music shop ad or something. I could be wrong. I don't know. Gotcha. I think it's explained like when they meet up for the first time.
Right. I remember like all the flashbacks to like show their lives. Yeah. I didn't remember like how he interacted with them, but yeah. I think also another like off-putting thing about this movie is that it's like trying to feel like timeless in a way, but then you have like a boombox that's like playing the CD from like the 90s or some shit, you know, and it's like doesn't feel timeless in a way. So it's like there is like this weird like feeling that you get in this movie of like
I was kind of like wondering what time period this was supposed to be, but then it was supposed to be present day because like I mean obviously, but there are some just like old-timey things about this movie that make me think like it should have been
Tom Hanks's character definitely gives like
seems like he should be in the 50s.
Plantation owner. Yeah.
Right. I really liked the painting, the husband painting, and how like the face always changed too. I don't know if you noticed, like, it's like weirdly just like kind of like condescending the characters as they go through their story, you know?
Right.
I also thought this movie kind of set a little energy up. Like it's like they kind of like geared the audience up for what Burn After Reading can do. Like it gets so dumb and stupid in that movie that like they almost needed this one to be here to like show them that they could do it later or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But that one being, I guess I didn't think to compare them. Maybe it's just the caliber of actors that it's in Burn After Reading that just makes it a lot more successful. I mean, I guess this one has like Hanks and yeah, that's about it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Burn After Reading is pretty silly though, but it fucking, I don't know, it works. The whole bonkers of it all.
For sure. Probably more than this one.
Yeah, and the circumstances. I think the fact that this one is like focused on the bank heist, it kind of puts itself in the corner where Burn After Reading is just kind of it can do whatever it wants with the characters because I mean the circumstances they put which we can get into when we get to that movie. But yeah,
that's like
I think the whole
level
heist of it all is what kind of puts us in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, once it's a heist movie, it's like you're locked into that genre.
I mean, they do
how's the heist
get
movie
off
back?
the absurd things like blowing off his finger and
Yeah.
going in there and the bomb, like the trigger starting back up again, and he has to crawl through. And so, I mean, there's there's things that work, but I mean, you're limited when you're in a basement in a hole the whole movie. So,
dude, the fucking
they picked a genre
wind up that the old lady does before she fucking slaps
with
Marlon
the pillow.
That shit is great. And they are repetitive or whatnot, but I really just love the overhead shots of the barge and bodies being thrown in. Something about, I don't know if it's CGI. It seems like it is.
It reminded me of Isle of Dogs so much.
Yeah,
when they were doing that. Yeah.
It's just like watching the body just fall and actually like land in the bags was like, and just like how it was like framed perfectly from above is just like very pleasing, I thought.
Yeah, that's like the opening shot too, right? Like they set that up early with the barge at the beginning.
Is that?
I would say it's like
the opening.
I think it is.
It's the closing shot for sure. They like show you the fucking trash heap or whatever that everything's going to. And they used the line, "Oh yeah, who looks stupid now?" again. Like throwback to fucking Blood Simple of the sheriff, right?
Yeah. Real shit.
Are they just replaying the same tricks? Or
I
is
didn't
that
catch
like
that.
Lump says, "Oh," he points the gun and says, "Oh yeah, who looks stupid now?" and he shoots it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
empty and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got when the first scene when she goes to the police station, it reminded me of the next movie to come, which is No Country for Old Men when Javier Bardem is in the jail sequence. I don't know. That whole area kind of just gave me that vibe, but maybe I'm just
like small town police station for sure. I thought those cops were pretty fun too, especially at the end when she walks in and is like, "I got the money," and then
and they're like, "Sure." Yeah. It worked. It was a perfect setup when she was looking under the bed, and that's good. Good payoff there. Good payoff. Full circle.
Good moments. Yeah, I would urge to give it a rewatch. Don't be like so down on it. Maybe just see maybe a few years down the road.
It definitely had like moments where it had me like cackling a little bit, but like I said, it just had pockets of like this is good Coen's movie, but then the whole big aspect of it all just didn't really work for me. So
understandable.
Yeah. I did feel, I mean, I felt like this one was a little bit more rewatchable than Intolerable. So I'll probably go back to it eventually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like watching them all in a row, I was kind of maybe like putting a little too much stock into their early career that I would really love it. And to be quite honest, a lot of their earlier stuff isn't my favorites. And then coming back to the Ladykillers is actually like a nice treat for me now, where it's like, oh, that's Coen shit. That's like, so maybe that's why I like it a little more this time. But we'll see where it falls in the grand scheme of the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would waffle between 3 and 3.5 for this one.
I'm gonna give it 3.5. I think I originally gave it 3. I think I'll give it 3.
Same. Yeah.
I actually gave this a 2.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I really did not like this movie.
That's fair. I mean, I think that's a very reasonable experience, honestly, with this movie. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna ask, like, I had looked up the next couple movies, and it looked like they were like 2 like French movies or something. Are we just gonna skip those and go to No Country for Old Men?
They have a short film. It's The Paris Straight to May, I'm assuming, is one.
Yeah.
I watched that one. It's just a little short film. You don't have to watch it. It's got Steve Buscemi if you want to. But
gotcha. So it's not in French. It's in English.
It's like a bunch of short films. Theirs is not. Steve Buscemi doesn't say any dialogue. I'm pretty sure there's maybe a couple French words spoken, but it's not. It's basically like you just know what's happening the whole time because it's all visual.
Gotcha.
Okay. But the Paris Straight to May movie is just a bunch of like short films. And some of them are French, some of them are American filmmakers and stuff. Not bad.
So
Not bad.
the best is right around the corner here, boys. At least in my opinion. So
No
that's up next, isn't it?
Country. Next up,
Yeah.
then if we go past them.
I'm hoping it's good.
Yeah.
Are we doing a double feature next week, or are we just gonna go No Country?
Well, what is it? No Country and Burn, or is it No Country and Serious Man?
It's Burn After Reading. Yeah.
Is it okay?
I think
I'm good with whatever.
we're gonna have to do 1 week where it's not a double feature, no matter what.
Let's do No Country on its own, and then we can do Burn and Serious Man together. I feel like those go better for the double feature.
And then I think it would be like True Grit, Llewyn Davis double feature,
Mhm.
and then it would be
Hail Caesar and Buster Scruggs. That'll be a fun.
if we want a double feature of both.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So solely No Country, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was the hype. This is the hype one.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
See if it matches up to some of the other 5 stars that I've.
Do you guys have your movie chest picks?
I do indeed.
If you guys are interested, the No Country for Old Men, the book is very short. I listened to it in the day. It's if you like the movie, you'll like the book. Yeah. No, like the Coen said, that they just kind of use the book, and it's pretty much the same. I mean, there's things that they had to leave out, obviously, because you can't put it all in there, but it's just as good. I mean, I really enjoyed listening to it.
Nice.
You can tell the Coen like touches they added to their own, no matter what they say, that they took that guy's, the material from the book. I mean, they added their own flair to it, so it's undeniable.
Adapted by Coen is gonna have some of that.
Yeah.
I think like Coen characters are something that you can like really feel. So they just like care about getting into the psyche, and they don't really care about like. I mean, the characters seem to be pretty likable in general, but like they're all very different, and they all have different like personalities and intelligence levels, and like.
Right.
I think that's what I enjoyed most about Ladykillers. It was like how distinct everyone was.
Right.
It was clear they put in like time and care for them.
Yeah. And like how they treat them too. Like the book for No Country, the dynamic between Llewellyn and his wife is completely like the vibe is different in the movie. It just feels better in the movie than it did in the book. In the book, it's just standard, but in the movie, it's it's kind of comedic, and they play off each other a lot better. So the dialogue between them all,
instantly like depth in their characters somehow.
Definitely
cartoony.
Yeah.
All right, are we giving the picks or what are we doing? Are we waiting?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I got mine queued up, ready to go.
Same.
Boy.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about True Detective being renewed?
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. Just based on your guys' conversation, I can't.
To be honest, it seems like all around kind of a shit show because, like, from what I had been reading, like the original creator was talking shit about the new season, and then like the director and writer of the new season was like shitting all over the creator, and I'm just like, that can't be good for business, right? Like,
it's like Star Wars all over again.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Movies. Like, I don't know. That just like seems.
I don't know, man. I mean,
tacky. I don't know. That might not be the right word. I just like.
I feel like if you side wants to give it credit for like trying again, at least like maybe she can like focus now and not be so like tied down to like homages and shit.
Well, I also was curious, like for the second and third season, like who was the writer and director for those?
Yeah, and those are not well received. Like, so I don't know. The dude thinks he's hot shit, and he's pretty. So. They're fine. Like, but like if you compare it to season 1, they're nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
To be honest, so, like how he's been like talking, like direct quotes and stuff that I've been reading, like kind of seems like a fucking asshole. Like, and he just kind of got lucky on the first season. Like, I mean, or didn't he say that it got ripped from something? Like, it was like
ripped a lot of philosophy. He worked really hard on it. You can tell he worked really hard on it. And it's really well written. But I've heard also that like the director and him like had this ongoing battle in season 1, and like that led to like more quality because like the director was like a very like heavy voice in that season.
Yeah. Fukunaga, or was that who it was? Carrie.
Yep. Fukunaga. Plus you had Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey as like leading the charge a little bit with their characters. think a lot of things added up in that season to just like give you fucking a perfect story, and he takes like probably all the credit. I don't think that's the case, but
no, the stars definitely aligned for the first season. Because even rewatching the second season, or my buddies rewatching or watching them, and like he picks out the things in the second season that are like good, which is just Colin Farrell's character and Rachel McAdams' character and Taylor Kirch, and that's like it. Other than that, it like loses steam in the back half, and it just, which I mean, I agree with, but I still enjoyed the second season, not as much, but I mean, I never hated it.
It's not as like blurrily unqualitative as like season 4, if that made any sense. But
yeah, definitely.
No, I mean,
not as like, shitty is what you mean.
That's probably the word. Yeah. But I don't know. Season 5, to be quite honest, I'm like questioning if I'm going to watch it or not.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I heard the news. Like, do we give her a chance because this time it'll be purely True Detective? Because like this one wasn't True Detective. It just kind of rewrites what clear.
Like half. Yeah. Like, holy shit, let's do it.
Yeah.
I kind of just wish they'd stop.
I think it got enough ratings for them to be like, well, people
that's
watched
the thing.
it.
Got a lot of views.
Yeah, that's true. And I was one of those people,
Right. People are talking about it. I mean, I think that
we're still
the bare minimum companies only care about that now, where it's like, there's engagement on the show. Let's fucking keep it
going. Platform.
Yeah. All right, we got the picks, or
Yep.
Yeah, I got mine. Oh shit, we're going. All right.
Good.
Interesting.
Damn, I should have picked Lady in the Water, dude. I thought about it.
Oh shit.
What we got here? White Man Can't Jump.
Oh shit.
White Man Can't Jump.
Right.
Damn, let's go.
Yeah, what is Lady of the Water actually?
That's a Shyamalan movie.
Shyamalan movie.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly his worst one.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, good thing that didn't get picked, huh?
What was that? Okay.
Gotta watch it eventually, though, right?
I mean, like some of them, I don't even know what they are, and I'm like, that looks kind of interesting, and then they turn out to be fucking garbage. That's happened like for me in particular, like multiple times, where I pick like the shittiest fucking thing.
I'm surprised Lord of War didn't get picked. I thought that one might get picked.
I don't know. I had seen it before, so I was like, fuck it, I don't want to watch this again.
Same.
We were this close to another Tom Cruise movie, guys.
I know. I was like,
this break.
We
need a fucking break, dude.
No, you don't.
I don't know.
All right. So White Man Can't Jump and No Country for Old Men.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. No Country for Old Men.
I'm gonna watch Shogun too if you guys want to watch that and talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I will watch that.
Is that coming out like
this week, right? Or was it last week?
I think it's this week sometime, I believe.
Yeah, it's coming up.
I think maybe 2 episodes are dropping, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that,
yeah.
But I gotta hop off and help Sarah. So.
All right, man.
Cool. Sounds good.
Good luck.
Good talking. Talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Sounds good.
Take it easy.
You guys want to stay on and talk about anything in particular, or what you? I know Joey might want to talk Avatar, right? But
yeah, that's the only other thing that I've been watching. So cool. Yeah, we can talk about that for a little bit. And
I'm interested to hear because I haven't started it yet, but because I've our Netflix membership bullshit.
Dude,
yeah,
that shit is making me livid.
Dude, it's
every day now.
Ridiculous.
It's like, you're not a part of this household. It's like, dude, I am.
Yeah.
But you're fucking sending me this again and again because you want me to get my own account.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Fucking game. They're playing games, man. It's annoying.
Yeah, but, they're all doing it too. Like I've gotten emails from almost all the fucking services that they're gonna start doing that shit now, like cracking down on password sharing.
I'm fine with the crackdown at a certain level, but like the egregiousness of Netflix is that I verify it and then they're like, it's like literally it happened 2 days. It was a day and then the next day it did it. Where it's like, you gotta verify it again, dude. And I'm like, dude, you can't keep making me do this. Like,
I think my problem with just overall any app doing it is that like they're all raising their prices. Like in the months leading up to the end of the year and like the start of this year, I got emails from pretty much all of them that they're gonna raise their prices. And now I was getting like emails from all of them that they're gonna start cracking down on password sharing. And it's like,
and there's gonna be ads now,
dude. Yeah,
So,
like
Yeah,
just
right.
deal with
I don't
it.
know. It's like go fuck yourself. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start
seriously.
unsubscribing from your
Right.
fucking apps.
Bro,
Like
We'll go back to
I'm not
cable,
gonna
man.
fucking
Like,
yeah. Like
the
Yeah.
movies
I don't know.
and stuff I've been searching out, like I have to go to my pirate sources because like none of
The
the
high
streaming services
seas.
even they don't have them
Yeah,
anymore. So like
honestly,
why am I
I
paying
have
for
like
that shit?
most of my
Yeah.
friends like around here have been also talking about the same shit where they're just gonna like they're gonna get a VPN and start pirating shit because like
Stupid,
why the fuck wouldn't you? Like I
Yeah.
don't know, like if you're not gonna get caught because you have a VPN, it's like look, and I don't mean to be promoting this on the internet, but like
this is for
I don't know,
everyone, everybody
dude.
knows.
Like I'm just saying, like they're gonna
Press
keep
VPN.
raising their prices. They're
It's gonna
gonna
be-
keep doing
Mhm.
because you're gonna
It's
keep
gonna be a break point.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Like
mean, at this
if
point
you
too, it's
don't stop
probably
paying for them, there's like no way that you're gonna tell them that you're not gonna put up
Yeah.
with it unless
Yeah,
you
show 'em
unless you
with your
stop
wallet.
doing their service. Like yeah,
right, right. That's the only way to get through.
Mhm.
I feel like at this point, it's like financially similar to just like get it. Like you could pay the same for an ExpressVPN, pay for all these streaming services. Yeah, like even there's just so many better options. It's just
Yeah.
it's just corporations
Eventually,
being fucking.
we're
And I
gonna
wonder
see a
how
bundle
much-
plan again, where
I
it's
would
like
s- yeah.
cable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if
That's very
that price is okay, I'll do it. But if it's not, then it's too far too gone. You know, like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're
I mean,
waiting too
Disney's
long.
kind of started that, so yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll follow suit.
So about
Like
the
Hulu,
Avatar
ESPN
show,
and shit, right?
look, going
Mhm.
into it, I was
Yeah.
like, for years, because this show has been in development for years, I was like, gonna give it a chance at the start when I heard about it, because I knew like
Yeah.
the original creators were like involved. Then I heard that the creators left the project, and I'm like, oh, it's just Netflix doing their shit. I'm not gonna watch the show, and it's probably gonna be fucking terrible. So like, watching the show, I don't know. I was like high as fuck, like Saturday night, I think. And I'm just like watching the first episode. I'm like, let me just see how bad this is. And I find myself like completely engaged. Like, I really liked this show, actually.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I like just finished it like before we got on the pod.
Hell yeah.
I'm like so fucking
You're in?
surprised that it was actually like pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. That being said, like skating in the alley with my friends earlier tonight, one of them said that someone he knows had watched it, and their problem with it is just like, why do you need to keep redoing the same shit or like
Mhm.
making this into live action? And I totally agree. I mean,
Yeah.
not every animated thing needs to be in live action form, but like I feel like this in particular like did a good. There's 8 episodes and they're hour-long episodes. So like
Oh, nice, okay.
time-wise, that would be like 24 episodes of the original show. And this only
Yeah,
takes
okay.
place like this season covers the first season of the show.
Mhm.
So like equivalently like timeline-wise, it covers about the same amount of material.
So it's like
And-
paced
Didn't even
think
well,
about it
you're
that way.
saying.
Each
Yeah.
episode too like does a like I don't know if they even missed any of the plot lines from any of the episodes in the first season because they just like interwove them and kind of like connected storylines in a way that like most of the stuff stayed the same, like how events like occurred. There were a couple things in the finale I didn't really like, but that they had changed. But overall, like it was pretty much exactly the same. They did introduce like Azula's character a little earlier because I don't think she was in the first season. They're just kind of like building her up at this point.
That's smart, I
Zuko
think.
and the
Just
family,
the little bits you
yeah.
get with her.
Yeah,
Pretty big, yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I thought.
That-
Yeah, go ahead.
But then, like, what I texted you, I guess, like, the last thing, not like a rating or anything. I would say, like, the acting, pretty fucking bad for most of it, except for, like, some of the characters, like, I realized are playing, like, the exact fucking character from the animated show. So, like,
Mhm.
in a way, they are doing a good job if that was, like, their job just to follow that character. I mean, like, the Sokka guy, like,
He's pretty good.
he looks like him, and he literally acts exactly like Sokka from the show. I feel like the original show.
He's at least making the character his own. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you can tell him
Mhm.
like trying to like embody all the different sides of Sokka.
Mhm.
I think Zuko's doing a pretty good job with what he's given to. Obviously,
I
he
thought so
starts
too,
off
yeah.
pretty kind of like angsty and like hard headed or whatever. But like I can see into that character when he like gives the emotion.
Mm.
Unfortunately, the 2 weakest people I think are Aang and Katara.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Gotcha. I've heard Aang is pretty weak.
It's
Yeah.
I immediately I
I think
watched the first
Katara is
episode.
worse, in my opinion.
She
But
might be. She just doesn't give you
yeah.
anything. Like she doesn't give you any like emotion or anything, like any facial expression. I'm sorry, but like you gotta do something a little more.
Gotta act.
Yeah.
please.
But then on the vice versa, like on the flip side though, I watched the first episode and I saw Aang's performance and I was like, that's a theater kid. I was like, I looked it up after. I was like, yep. He's like, oh, this kid's been interested in theater since a very young age on stage.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
100%. I knew that
I
was a
wouldn't doubt
theater
it.
kid.
Yeah.
Like because he's like he's projecting like this weird performance onto you. And
Yeah,
I'm
but like,
dude,
that was probably the way to go. I mean, like,
I
what are
don't
you
think
gonna
so,
get?
man.
I don't know.
I was thinking
mean,
about it in the time. I was like, it'd be hard because you like kid actors are terrible to work with.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
but, like,
you could have like a fucking shittier
it
situation.
could be bad.
You know?
It could
like,
be really bad. But like, to be quite honest, you think about Aang as like especially in the early parts of his character, he's kind of aloof and he kind of doesn't really know. It's like he's like kind of just like going with, and he's like very immature and young. And
still kind of
this
denying
character,
the Avatar, whatever.
yeah, and he doesn't even know he's the Avatar. Like,
Oh.
and in the show, in the live action, the kid is like instantly like chest puffy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like very like got the confidence already, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's the take. Like, I just don't know if that's the Aang. Like,
no, because like Aang, I mean, by the end of the third season, it's like this guy's gone full monk. He's like wise as shit, you know.
I guess just for clarity, like what? I don't know if I understand the points, like where you're talking about. Because like from this show and the original show, he finds out that he's the Avatar at the same point, like at the same point in time.
But it's like early
but
on.
But in both of the shows, he was still like the first, like he was still the youngest Airbender master. So I mean, he still was like a child prodigy in both.
I guess like he's good at airbending, but he knows nothing about life. Is what I'm saying. Like, and in the show, it's like he knows. Also, he acts like he knows more than everyone.
Kind of up for debate too, because in the original show, he has friends from all over the world, so he is already pretty well traveled.
I mean, I guess he like knows people. But the whole journey of Avatar is him like learning the like relationships, the world, the dynamics of like like that's what's great about Avatar is like you watch him like change from innocent to like
he's got to adjust to 100
and he like
years
grows.
past.
I get that, but like I guess like two of the things that you said are like him traveling around the world and learning different relationships, and it seems like he's already kind of done that by the time that he like of the events of the show. Either show, you know what I mean?
At the beginning of both shows, he's like chilled in his air temple, and then he dips. That's right. I mean, he might have like gone a couple other places. I don't really.
I remember at least. Well,
he talks about how he has friends from the Fire Nation.
Right.
And he has friends from like the Earth Kingdom. I mean, Boomy.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's been around the world.
Yeah, he's still a child though.
Yeah.
I guess like what I'm saying with this performance is like the kid is acting like he's like 18 years old and like knows better. When like the Aang I know and from the pilot of the animation is he wants to go penguin sledding. That's like it's just like the disconnect for that character is extreme. And I just don't think they have the right take of like
he definitely in the live action, he definitely doesn't have as much like he's not like trying to be a kid as much.
No, he's like already.
It's all about him like letting people down and shit.
Yeah, very.
I feel like they are pretty heavy-handed on that. Yeah.
And I'd say like the live action follows pretty well as much as you could do for the story. I'd say. To be honest, I think you could have done 10 episodes and maybe had a little more of like.
I felt like the last episode I felt was rushed. And actually, some other episodes I felt were rushed too. Like the one with Ko. Like, I mean, they barely had any resolution to that episode. They like cleared things up in the last like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff, it's like we hit the beats and now we got to keep moving a little bit. I would have liked to have been able to sit a little bit in the show. I thought it was smart how they broke up the characters though with Katara and Aang and Sokka early, so that like they could do the dude who's making like the airships. They could do the jet stuff. They could do the Disney stuff. You know, like,
I thought that was
without
smart
like
too.
keeping them.
And
all
that's what I was
together.
talking about, like interweaving the other stories and shit from the original series, like into like one episode. Like I thought they did a great job.
They did probably about as well as you could. I think if you had more episodes, you could have done a little better. But for
is
sure.
Zhao? I'm curious. Is Zhao like a prominent? Because he's like heavy antagonist.
Oh yeah,
first.
He's pretty good. I don't know. I kind of liked how they portrayed his character in this.
He's kind of got like he's kind of like got like a he's Miles from Lost, if you know that. You definitely know the actor. Miles. And he's kind of been known to like be like the sarcastic guy, if you know who he is. Okay. And in this one he's got that, and he's got like the like angry or like kind of the dark side that you can like get out of it. It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't really like how they changed how he found out the information about the spirits. I thought that was kind of weird, and also the fact that they had like the owl spirit earlier in the show, then the library. That I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna like. I don't know where they're gonna go with that. I guess because like I would assume that they're gonna have to find the library, but they also like at the end of the show too. There's a different like time, like you know that like weird mechanism thing that shows the different days of the year and when the solstice is going to happen. It's like in the library in the animated show. Yeah. They like have one of those at the end of the show.
In Fire Nation.
Yeah. Oh. And I don't know. I guess I don't know. Some of those things, I don't know. Like, cause now I'm wondering like how close the next season, like I'm wondering how much those decisions will impact the next couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they continue the show, I don't know. Sure. I'm assuming they will, but
I would assume they would. Well, they definitely set seeds that since they know where it's going to go, they can set them earlier than they did in the animation. But honestly, like I was wondering if some of the decisions they made were if they needed to, because the one I'm thinking of is, it's about Iroh. I think Iroh is even more developed in the live action than he is in the whole first season of the animation almost.
I agree.
Because they try to develop him more. And they give him like scenes with him crying a lot. And that's fine because they show that he cares for Zuko and stuff like that. But like they're hinting, and they even have like the musical motif of Tears from the Vine, Leaves from the Vine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like when they eventually do it in season 2 or 3, it's 2, I would assume, where they go to the
the place in Bossing Stay.
Yeah, and then he sits under the tree, and like that's the moment they want to get to, and they're giving you the first breadcrumb. But like the reason why it worked in the animation is like he lets everything out in that moment, and we haven't really seen him do that before. Yeah, but like now he's done it, so that moment's not going to land that well anymore. That's my theory, but
I already don't think that moment's going to land that well either, because they already said that his son died.
They've already given you that emotion.
So like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if they will do that. I don't know. I guess I don't know if you're gonna. Yeah,
that's like his most iconic moment in the show. Yeah, so like it's like they gotta do it now. But like, should you have spent so much time setting it up?
Yeah. I haven't.
Well, I think they had to just because like Zuko is like replacing his son. They wanted to get that out earlier.
I was like, it seems like a device to build their relationship, to like 100%. Develop their relationship.
It definitely was too. It was like at his funeral and shit, and like Zuko was like, was
actually a great addition. I thought, even though it does like dig into that emotion. I don't think we saw that in animation, right? It's like you see his son's funeral. I don't think so. And like Zuko comes up to Iroh and like gives him like a medal or something that his son gave him and stuff like that. That was like, I think, the best scene that they added. Like I thought that was a really good scene, and it kind of showed you something else that you hadn't seen before. They have a couple of those moments where they don't follow it. It's pretty rare, but
it's like interesting because like watching like the original show. I guess like this show has just got me thinking more about like Zuko and Iroh's dynamic. Because like I don't know, in the original, I guess I didn't get as much that like Iroh was just like preparing Zuko and just like guiding him, but ultimately like letting him decide his own path. Which I mean, like he tells him multiple times in the original show that like he has to find his own like destiny and shit, and he has to regain his honor in however way I don't know whatever I don't know way is best for him, I guess.
Yeah, he definitely leaves the door open for him a lot.
And like I don't know, but like well, I guess I did get all of that from the original show, but I also always thought that Iroh was like not bad. Like
yeah, I mean he was bad, and then he kind of
yeah, exactly, yeah, and like now the fact that they're like really heavily implying that he just wants the war to be done. It's not like and that's like any way that it can like the shortest
Whatever
path
way.
to that like is what he wants to do.
Gotcha.
And I think that that's kind of interesting because I didn't really
like,
think
the
about that. I
show-
don't know.
Yeah, the live action has done a little bit of effort to like give you more rationale behind some of the adult decisions, I'd say. But like with the Fire Lord, like with Zuko, like when he's like giving him like his scar or whatever, maybe it was in the animation, I just don't remember, but he's like in the
Dude, I don't
background
think
of
it was that brutal.
No,
I mean, I think
for sure.
I think it was just like in the animation. I think it was just like his dad just shot a fire blast at him.
Like, hit him or
This like
something.
he fucking
It's like burns him.
yeah.
But like in the background of all that drama is like him deciding a route for the war, his like troops to take, and it's like a dire situation where it's going to be a lose-lose or whatever, basically. And like you can see him like projecting that anger to Zuko, and that. Whereas like the animation, it's more just like cut and dry. The live action, like you say, like there's like these external things that are actually like affecting the characters more. It seems like with the war and Iroh, or at least they're trying to tie them to like external things that are like pushing them, if that makes sense.
I mean, even Boomy's character, he like which I think is interesting because I feel like that's like the motive of the White Lotus, like secret organization, is that they just want the war to be over. That's like their mission statement basically, because like they're like two main people in that, and they both think that way, you know. So like I think that it's just I don't know,
maybe a little more like a harsher take. I mean, the live action is a bit harsher in general.
I'm pretty sure that like Boomy's character has like a necklace on, and I think the medallion on it is the White Lotus like symbol.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that in the
costume. I could be wrong, but I think that it was. I think that it was like
I know he dropped the Pie Show tile that was the White Lotus. I think that's in the animation, but they're definitely hinting at the White Lotus coming back for show.
I like didn't. How did you feel about how they did like Boomy's character?
It was teetering between hitting and missing a lot of the time. I think if they chose a slightly older actor, it just would have been better in general. The makeup was pretty good, and the actor did an okay job. They also revealed Boomy. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they told Aang
before
who
like
was, and then led him through all the trials. That makes no sense to me.
It was weird. I don't know.
And it made no sense in that episode dramatically.
I totally agree. I totally forgot about that, but like, because I think I was just like really tired because I think that was again Saturday night, and I had been like, I'm like 3 episodes in.
I binged the first night too, actually.
Yeah, so like I think at that point I'm just like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And then it kind of got to the end of the episode, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But like the trials like really didn't matter because like you said, like Boomy had been like revealed, like Aang figured it out like quicker than they had anticipated, and I feel like I don't know, it kind of made Boomy seem just like
unhinged,
kind of like an asshole.
Yeah,
like,
he's kind of just like
he doesn't really seem like a good guy, and he doesn't really seem that like goofy. I don't know.
No, he seems more angry.
He seems like like kind of an angry aristocrat who like used to be funny, and he's just old and wants this war to be over.
Yeah,
that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think,
and he kind of just knew the Avatar before. I also like didn't really like how the trials in the original show too were supposed to teach Aang how to think in different ways so he could learn the other elements like easier, you know, because he had to think like in unconventional ways or like different ways than he would think about airbending. And like I think Boomy's character says that in the live action, but like the trials don't mean
They don't do
anything.
They don't
anything.
reflect
Like
that.
they don't. Yeah,
It's
like
basically just him like walking around and then like diamonds shoot out and grab him.
yeah,
And just like,
and he
"Gotcha,
like
bitch."
pushed him in there or something, and then like
Just like,
he was just like out of there, and
okay.
and they were just like, dude, Boomy, why'd you do that? And like, and Boomy's just like, blah blah blah, and you're just like, dude, Aang could have just totally fucking died. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
Jeez, dude.
and he's just cool with. I don't know. It was weird. Like,
It is a bit. It's. I think it's hard to capture that magic of Boomy from the animation. They tried,
Yeah.
but they didn't grab it. They didn't grab it all.
yeah, that's like one of those things that like you just keep in animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
so cartoony too, like the 100 and whatever year old man, you know, that's like
Yeah,
got that
I'm,
energy.
I'm curious about a couple. Do they do because in the show there's like flashbacks to like kind of help
this
flesh
what?
people
Is it
out, or
flashbacks?
flashbacks
Mm.
to like flesh characters out a lot. You know, you go back to Aang's childhood.
Yeah, I don't know. You're cutting out a little bit.
Cutting out a little
Oh,
bit,
am I?
but,
My
they
bad.
thought-
I
they
just
show
like-
it
flashbacks
might
for
just be your
Zuko,
signal.
Katara. They show you how Katara's mom dies. They show you how
Yeah.
Zuko gets a lot of his history.
Dude, they also like
yeah, yeah.
showed
They do
like,
Aang.
like flashback for Sokka too with some new shit that like was
Yeah.
not in the live action, which I feel like adds a lot to his character actually.
That's
Nice,
like the
okay.
harshness I'm talking about though, because his dad like is like, "Good job, Sokka," and then he talks later. He's like, "I wish my son was better." Like,
Dude, right?
and
I'm
then
like,
like in
what
the
the
animation,
fuck?
you never hear that
Damn.
from his dad. So
No,
like,
it's
Yeah.
always like.
So I feel like
that-
that's gonna
big
make it
deal.
like hit so much harder when they meet up finally, and he
Mhm.
like tells Sokka he's like doing a
He's
good
actually
job,
proud.
you know? Like
Right,
yeah,
become
it'll
a
actually like
warrior
it'll
or
be like
whatever.
that much more,
could be. Hopefully,
you know, like
Nice.
yeah,
that.
influential, I guess.
I'm
For
kind of
sure.
glad. I like the idea that they did go like harsher, or maybe like a little darker with the world.
Yeah.
because it's like,
Dude,
I mean,
Sokka's
100-year
character in
war.
general
and-
in the first
yeah.
couple episodes is like kind of dark. He talks about like killing people and shit, which is like it's you know they are killing people, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
War.
fucking it's just weird sometimes.
What's
yeah.
also kind of weird is that, I mean, it makes sense because Sokka is definitely not as like as goofy as like the animation. He's got like more like shit going on, but
Mhm.
all the female characters that he's related to in the animation, they are just throwing themselves at Sokka. Dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
In the live action, they are just like Sokka doesn't have to try, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
like
In,
Damn.
in the
Yeah.
cartoon, he's like chasing them.
and like oh my god,
Yeah.
in like this in the episode with Suki, there's just like so much sexual tension, and
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
like for like 3 scenes in a row, and you're just like, oh my god, like just do
Is it gonna
something, like
happen
fucking
again?
kiss
Yeah,
each other
holy
or
shit.
something, like fuck, like
Right.
god
Lasso a little
damn.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think like I enjoyed my experience watching the show for sure. I watched it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I did have a like question though, where I was like, why am I liking this? Is it just because like I like the story? I
world
like
and- yeah.
Avatar. Because I was like finding myself like watching the show and just like thinking about like how they were making it, like why they were making the decisions. I saw General Zhao's sideburns. I was like, are those real sideburns? Are they? I was like, what's like
Dude, all
Iroh's
the
beard? Like,
sideburns, they make me laugh so hard.
Yeah,
Just like
so
they
it's
just
like-
have like regular hair and just like crazy fucking sideburns.
Iroh's
Nice.
beard. It's like that's got to be a fake beard. Those are the things I'm
Yeah.
thinking about watching it. So it's not even like I'm fully like investing in it. I'm kind of like having this like weird reference experience where I'm like, how do they do this one? You
Yeah.
know? I don't
Dissecting it a
know.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
was thinking about that a little bit too, like why I liked the show as much as I
Mhm.
did, and I think for me, I think there are like a couple things. Like for probably the biggest thing is that I had super low expectations like coming into this,
Yeah.
and I mean I think that the show probably did the best with what they were given. Like I feel like this is probably like best case scenario of like how the show could have turned out.
Yeah.
Based on like the conditions that, but like I'm
Yeah,
kind of
the
curious
creators leave
why.
and stuff, too.
I'm wondering if like if the creators they just like wrote everything out. They like pitched how many like found out how many episodes it was going to be, figured out the pacing, wrote all the shit, and then like maybe like went through like an episode, saw it, and we're just like, all right, you guys just do this for the
Keep
rest of the
deciding.
fucking show, and then they
Yeah.
just dipped because like they started their own like studio or something, like their own Avatar studio that will like
Mhm.
they're making more Avatar shit, like
Right.
animated
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
So like I'm wondering if they just like timing wise they just like left
Didn't want to
because
do
of
it
that,
anymore.
or
Yeah.
if it was like actually a conflict. I guess
Wonder.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's
But
a
I
little
guess
bit of both.
That's what I was
like
thinking.
as for like liking the show, the super low expectations, and also I was thinking like I think it's just like nostalgia for me because I liked the original so much, and they're actually like paying homage to like the original,
Doing some justice.
and like doing some cool new things too, while still sticking to the original story.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking like I don't know if a person hadn't watched Avatar, would they like this show?
Yeah.
I think like
But then
that's
again,
mostly why these are made. Is
Avatar
like the people
had
that
so
don't
much of
watch
a
anime.
following. Yeah, like I don't
Good
know.
call,
I
man.
mean, yeah.
Like some old woman is gonna watch that show and be like, "That was a cool show," and she's gonna have no idea like it was connected to like an animation or you know what I'm saying like
Yeah.
like that's the goal I
Like
think with
you're
these shows.
right. Like I think that I mean any of the live action for anime, like that is totally what they're gonna do. This show I feel like is a little bit different just because like this show
Fan
had such a
base.
huge following. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I feel like most people have at least heard of this before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like whether it's I don't know, the original
Know the
show,
Blue
so
Arrow.
shitty M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Or they think it's related to, the fucking blue aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. It's one of these.
So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like for this one, it's just, like, kind of different just because of that. I feel
they
like
did have
it's
enough
more
of, like,
well-known.
the fan love. They have enough of the meme shit, too. Like, they have the My Cabbages guy, and they tease
Yeah.
you so hard before it happens with, like, the shops that they're
Yeah.
destroying. They have the secret tunnel moment. Like, they get these, like, moments in there where it's
I was
like...
about to ask about that, yeah.
Like, that's what we're here for. You know, some of the fans are here for. Like, so, like, they hit those moments. I think, like, the overall just enjoyment of the show comes from just, like, watching the story I know and love be told with, like, a budget that's incomprehensible to me. Like, there was a shot in the finale that was legitimately, like, one of the most cool CGI shots I think I've ever seen. And I just never thought, like, it's when one of the fire ships breaks through an ice wall. It just and you see like a dude fall.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you see like a dude like running and he like falls into the ship.
pretty
Ship
fucking
goes through the
cool.
wall and then the fucking like thing opens up and then the fucking people run down the ramp. I was just like
that's what I'm saying. Like the effects and stuff, or just like how they did their shots was just like so good because
good.
like they just like most of the fighting shots, they don't actually have a lot of people in each shot. They just like put people in the background strategically in places where it seems crowded. So then they just move to the next shot and they do the same exact thing, and it just makes it seem like there's a lot of people. And I don't know. I feel like they just utilized like what they had very well.
The sets, whatever sets they did build, were very well done, and they shot the shit out of it. They got what they could. For sure. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Like any of the action shit, I feel like is pretty fucking badass. Like
it's pretty well done. Yeah,
I don't know. Like when they get to fucking Kyoshi Island, it's pretty badass. Like I don't know.
They do the whole like koi surfing thing and all that.
No, they actually didn't
they
do
missed
that.
that one. Yeah, the like sea monster shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about
they
that.
do skip some stuff.
Okay. Are there like are there 2 episodes at Kyoshi Island, or is there only 1 episode in the original?
Just one.
I think it's
just one.
Is it one? Okay. Thought it might have been
I guess like I'm just like overestimating animated shows, like how quickly they fly through shit, because it's just like I don't know, they just move through shit so quick in animated stuff, or
especially
you can. I feel
Avatar too, like each episode is like so contained, and then they're out in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, flying away on
exactly.
Yeah.
I might rewatch the animated show.
I already started it up.
I'm kind of jonesing now.
Another like Lord of the Rings thing. I watch it. I like.
Yeah. Just gotta throw it back on every once in a while.
I am good. So like I guess like a couple questions I have like going forward, like or like things that I'm looking forward to seeing, or just like things that I'm kind of concerned about. I guess that they already captured Omashu. That was weird to me because like at the end of the show they say that like the attack on the north was just a misdirect and they were actually attacking Omashu.
That was
that
distraction.
Like
the
strategically
ships I sent.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because like they're 2 different, like the Water Tribe people
factions.
aren't talking to the Earth Nation people. So like the Earth Nation is just always gonna be on guard.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're gonna, regardless of the time, and if they're attacking somebody else when they attack Omashu, the people in Omashu aren't going to give a fuck. They're just going to be like, oh shit, there's Fire Nation people outside. Like, let's just do what we've been doing, you know? Like,
yeah, run the same drills we've been running for the last.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like that doesn't really make any sense. But I guess like I'm looking forward to like Ba Sing Se and like how they'll do that stuff.
I think the second season is going to be really challenging, honestly. The first season you kind of have like this streamlined push, and the second season is like there's so many like unique episodes, and you got
like
off. Yeah, it's like
the underground Long Fang, you know, the
and
all that.
It's like because that's like a huge plot in.
And then you got to hit like the fun stuff too, with like the library and like the swamp benders if you want to hit that, and like you know, it's like. I think you could do 10 episodes. It would really serve you, I'd say, in the second season. But
I think people would eat that shit up. Like, there's no reason. Like, people would be happy to watch more.
Like, especially since the parts of the animation that people really love are when you just like hang out with the crew a lot of the time, like the Avatar squad. And you don't really get a lot of that in the live action. So if you spend more time, hanging out, that's not bad in my opinion. But
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover second season. All Azula's gang and all that shit too. Yeah. Them hunting Zuko.
Yeah, Azula's gang has been in this a decent amount. They're just in the Fire Nation, like getting set up. Pretty
talking
much.
About like harsh though, like darker, dude. She's like
holy shit! They have added a whole storyline for Azula, like that was not included. Like, and I kind of like it because like she actually has some like emotional background instead of just being a fucking crazy person, basically.
Okay. She's still like psychopathic with the way like she's looking at her.
I mean, but at least like, now that you know it's because like of the fucking mind games that her dad's been doing on her like for her entire life, and how like she wasn't her mother's favorite when her mother was alive, and I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot of emotional trauma that like was not in the
mental
original
abuse
show.
Going on in the Fire Nation over there.
Yeah.
For culture.
Definitely enjoyed it more than I expected, though.
I'm curious too. I know you guys mentioned like the owl spirit, but like, how's the spirit worldy stuff?
You know, it was okay. Sokka and Katara both went to the spirit world, and I also didn't know how I felt about that. Yeah. But I guess that was like kind of the only way that it could explain that town, because like even in the animated show, they're like lost in the spirit world, I would assume, because like they just come out of the woods. So like I think it's just like they were probably always in the spirit world. They just didn't like say anything about it. Like they were lost in the spirit world.
There's more,
but maybe they were also lost in a different way, because like in the live action they made it where like Ko was like stealing these people.
There's a lot more explaining and a lot more like giving you information that you didn't fully have. But
I kind of expected that. That was like that came with the low expectations, especially after watching like Percy Jackson. Okay, how much of the world are you gonna tell us? Like,
I mean, you do feel a little bit of Percy Jackson whiplash in the time moving. I'd say it's definitely nowhere near as bad. I'd say.
Yeah. Wow. Also, like Appa is like basically not in it. Like he's in it, and they're flying around on Appa.
Okay. What?
Momo does stuff. I feel like Momo saved at least one person and almost died. But I feel like Appa just kind of flies them around, and then other than that, they don't really interact with Appa. Like they're on his back. That's it. They don't talk to his face. Like
Aang never grabbed Appa's fluff and made him the scraggly beard or whatever, where he was like old man. What was the name? It's like Pumple. I don't know the fucking name, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. So not as much Appa usage. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, he's got his own whole thing in the second season. We'll touch on that being lost.
It's like that's a whole episode, man. The Tales of Ba Sing Se. You got to do a whole episode for that. So like,
they could add more tales.
It's a great episode.
Good.
Yeah.
If you got one, tell it.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'll probably start that. I'll probably binge it as soon as possible then.
Yeah.
So I was like hesitant, after Percy. I was like, oh man, is it gonna ruin it more for me? But
honestly, like the way I feel like it's like young adult fantasy, but it's like young adult Game of Thrones almost.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah,
that's
like
what
I
they're
don't
going
know.
for sure. That's like where it's like a little bit edgier. It's a little bit darker than like the animation, but not enough to to gear you into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, okay.
Just a little bit of a twist.
Well, shit, by third season, shit goes down. Like,
Does get dark. We're gonna be bloodbending, I assume.
right.
yeah.
And I want to.
I mean, even the
Already
diary's kind of like
how they were doing the
right.
healing shit almost like made me think of like bloodbending. And like I was wondering, they could easily add a connection in there, like between the two, like how could that was another thing that bothered me. They just like Katara is instantly a master by the time she gets there.
Oh, okay.
Like people are calling her master, and the master calls her master, and like says that she like basically alludes to the fact that he doesn't need to teach her. But like I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Is like they get to the development that like the characters are at by the end of the first season, but you don't feel any of it in a live action.
Yeah,
because you don't really spend the time.
I feel like I did
there.
for Sokka.
Yeah,
but not the rest of them. I mean, Aang didn't really do anything. Aang didn't even learn water bending, which like is another thing that's kind of weird because I think by that point he had learned some water bending at least.
He was supposed to be like pretty good.
First
I thought
season?
from Katara's teachings.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good point. I never really thought about that because, like, yeah, dude, like they're going into the second season, gonna meet Toph probably pretty early.
Start doing earth bending. Like,
the Rock. Are we gonna get the Rock or the Boulder?
Oh,
that's the wrestling scene.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm sure they would do. I'm sure they'll do that shit. It's too fun to pass.
I do like. I don't know how like each area is supposed to be like a different, equivalent to like a different place in the real, or like a different ethnic group or something from the real world. Like I like how like they made Omashu like it was like India pretty much. Oh, cool. And like I don't know, I know Ba Sing Se is supposed to be like China, so like I don't know, I thought that was kind of an interesting twist because like I usually think of like the whole Earth Kingdom as China, but it was kind of neat how they showed a different place that was just like kind of Asia, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Good idea. Yeah.
Well,
or at least I don't know. Maybe that was in the original. I just didn't catch it. I don't know.
No, I was kind of with you the same boat. Earth Kingdom. I was just like one umbrella.
Yeah.
China, Asia. Yeah.
No Haru either.
Oh, the jailbreak episode.
Yeah. That's like early earthbending, so maybe they'll just wait till season 2 to like dig into that, since there's like kind of an offshoot, you know.
You know, I thought like the character who was Jet, I thought that was gonna be like Haru, but then it turned out to be Jet.
Together.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I don't give a shit about the Jet stuff, but
I didn't either.
It's fine.
I feel like they did kind of do a good way of like dissuading you from being on his side, because like I don't know, they made it more realistic as as a show. So like the fact that
he was gonna go let people.
If he was just gonna go like murder people, then like it wouldn't be as like, oh, I'm not on this guy's side because he's murdering firebenders and they're assholes. But like the fact that he's like committing acts of terrorism against like civilians, is fucked up.
It's like, why you? Okay, Jet, cool them.
Yeah, chill, dude. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm like super pumped. I mean, the Boiling Rock episodes in the third season are probably some of my favorite episodes from that season.
Yeah.
And dude, if they do that right, that'll be sick.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
But no, I'm excited. I'll probably start that soon. I start watching that.
Oh yeah.
This week or next week.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know what you think.
Yeah, we can talk more next week then maybe.
Yeah, I'll be done.
But I got nothing else to say about Avatar. So
yeah, I don't know anything yet.
I'm good to sign off if you boys are.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm cool. I am.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys.
Oh yeah, we're still live.
That's right.
All right.
Nice. All right. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
Peace out.
See you guys.